Greetings, YouTube. This is going to be a very different kind of video, and one that I'm not trying to, you know, rally the pitchforks against Kabam or anything. I know after almost 4 years of doing this that it's very easy to be angry and very hard sometimes to come up with solutions. And problems are only problems until there are solutions to them. But I have heard from about 5 summoners, including this summoner we're about to read his post, that lately it's not just that they're burnt out of the game. Like, I feel like MCOC has always been the basic game since I started. Alliance Quest, Alliance War, Event Quest, and now, we've got incursions, we've got a side quest, but the incursion rewards aren't amazing, and the side quests can sometimes be so tedious for summoners that they just don't do them, and they don't care about them. So, to me, like, why do people play MCOC? 1, to open crystals to hopefully get good champions and enjoy the Marvel Casino of Champions experience. And 2, to have really big yellow numbers most of the time with max OP champions. And of course, not all OP champions do big yellow numbers. Sometimes it's not damage output that can make a champion OP, but utility. I'm never going to have the big yellow numbers with Quake, but I can get past so many nodes by quaking or even half quaking with the parry style that I could with somebody even like Ghost or Corvus. And so all of this is to say that the big elephant in the room in the past 6 months especially has been 2 things. The lag of the game, which varies heavily depending on what Android and even Apple device you're using. And then the second is just the game crashing. And I see this every time I live stream for more than 20 minutes, where I'll be in the middle of a crystal opening and it'll crash. But of course, if the game crashes, and I've heard from some of you this week that it's come back, especially with loading Alliance War screens, when you have, like, it's a difference between having great Wi-Fi and like a dependable internet connection versus being out in the middle of nowhere where you're doing the Marvel Casino of Champions experience with your own device and whether or not it connects to internet or data. But this post kind of sums up the thoughts and feelings of, I don't want to say a lot of summoners because that might be an overstatement, but at least some summoners that I've heard from. This man has officially left the contest as of this week, and he reached out to me to share this post because the other elephant in the room is that whenever people post things like this that aren't profane and hateful and misleading, they still get warned and deleted, which makes the summoner feel like Kabam has kind of like a carrot on the stick type of mentality. And if you're not familiar with that phrase, just imagine that you're trying to eat a carrot, but it's on a stick, and there's a string attached to it, and you're like stretching your arms out to grab it, but you're always just a little too close, or a little too far away, I should say, from grabbing it. So this person's been playing since 2014, which is a little bit before I started playing. I'm leaving Contest of Champions, but mostly Kabam, and so they actually don't view it as I'm leaving the game as much as I'm breaking up with the company that produces the game. I understand that a lot of you won't care, and a lot of you will say, so just leave, no need to make a post. I get it. However, after how Kabam have dealt with or not dealt with this Kingpin Sig Stone issue, which, by the way, if you missed the video, the posted prestige for especially 6-star Kingpin, the max Sig 200 prestige for months now, has been wrong. It's overstated the prestige, and so it's caused some summoners to put very valuable 6-star Sig Stones into their Kingpin, only to find that he was not as intended. And instead of Kabam making this big public apology with compensation, at least right now at the time of recording this, they mainly just said, oh, well, thanks for catching it. We'll just correct the amount on the page itself. Thanks for looking out for us, even though you just wasted hundreds of dollars of very valuable 6 stones that we've intentionally put a paywall behind because we know that where the economy of the game is now, it's not in crystal shards mainly, but rank-up materials. It's left a bad taste in my mouth. It's not just this issue that has caused me to leave either. It's a number of things, most of them important ones that we as a player base should care about. So this is a warning to the player base from someone who's leaving the game. It's sort of like a exit interview when you're quitting a job. I've been a player since 2014. I've been through the ups and downs of this game, but I feel the game is on a downward spiral through Kabam's unethical way of managing its business and how it interacts with mainly doesn't with its player base. Performance issues have been the worst they have been this month for a lot of players, and we haven't had an acknowledgement, or an announcement, I should say, to say whether it's going to be fixed or even acknowledging the issues. I've experienced crash after crash after lag after lag after crash after dropped input after crash. Every 15 minutes or so every time I play this game this month. Each time costing me potions and revives, or my champ's health unless I spend units on reviving them. Not once has Kabam acknowledged their issues. Now, maybe they actually have on some forum posts, but I always say there's a difference between acknowledging it on a forum post that most people don't see and acknowledging it not just in the game, but now on that center banner that they're doing for like offers, which I think is a really great way to not miss something. You know, it's very transparent when they're able to do this, but they don't do it enough. If this were any other game, it would have been hotfixed or even just acknowledged on the social media platform saying they're working on it. The disconnect and lack of communication from Kabam on any subject is deafening. Support service, I don't think I need to say anything about this. Kabam support service, this has become a meme, which is sad when you think about it. People open a support ticket because they have a problem and need help, only to receive a generic response with their ticket instantly being closed with no resolution. Kabam service is so bad that it's become a meme. Just process that for a moment. This links swiftly to the mods of the forums. Now, before we get to the mods, I just want to say that this is not necessarily a completely fair perspective because I do think it is the Marvel Casino of Champions of help tickets. Some people you'll talk to, it's like they've never played the game, and their answer, it's like, you don't understand the issue because clearly what you're saying isn't even in the game. But then there are other people who are incredible, and maybe it's like 10% of the help tickets, I don't know, but it's like you won the lottery of service, and they're amazing. And Kabam does have some of those people employed, and I think we do it a disservice to just say in a blanket statement that all support service employees are worthless. Well, no, that's not true. But certainly it doesn't seem like they're on the same page a lot, and that can be very frustrating because it does feel like that Marvel Casino of Champions where I just hope and pray I get the right person or else I'm never going to be helped. The forums are a place for discussion, to discuss your game for better or worse. We were in the midst of discussing a really important issue tonight regarding the Kingpin 6-stone issue, which was your mistake, by the way, Kabam. It's something you're still yet to comment on and make an announcement on, an issue which now leaves your players not trusting information you provide for your game, which I say this, the overarching issue with all of this is just trust. If you have trust issues with someone, you're also less likely to spend because you know your money might not be what you think you're spending on, and that's really come back to patch 12.0 years ago. But that's really why Kabam should care about this, because the less your players trust, the less likely they are to throw money your way. People purchase items based on information you provide. These purchases aren't made with monopoly money. They're made with hard-earned real money. For this false information to be up on your website for 3 months, not proofread, is already ridiculous for you then to just nonchalantly say, well, we fixed it with no apology or correction when people have spent money based on information is quite frankly disgusting. And it is hundreds of dollars. Like, that's what the price of 6-star 6-stones are. They've routinely put the price of 20 generics at $100. So if you have a SIG 200, just doing the math there, that's $2,000 on average worth of generic 6-star 6-stones, not counting anything you might have put on that's class-based or obviously landing on them and naturally awakening them or duping them with 20 SIGs. It now leaves everything you say open to interpretation, which means people are now going to be hesitant to purchase anything because a few months down the line they're like, whoops, our bad, like we just talked about. I just can't support your company anymore and definitely won't be spending on any more of your projects going forward. The deceit, complete lack of appreciation, undermining of your player base is just unreal and will be your downfall. Of course, that deleted the thread and it's closed, which is why the screenshot was taken before the post was deleted forever, and this person's probably now banned from the forums. So, this is why they're leaving the contest. Now, I know I'm a YouTuber. I know that I have a vested interest in this game in ways that 99% of people don't because I have a YouTube channel. But I do think a lot of the issues that were raised in this post are consistent with player base, regardless of whether or not you're the most free-to-play players or the heaviest spender of whales. It's something we've talked about for years on this channel, but it is causing some people now to just leave. And that is the frustration of bait and switch, where you make a mistake, Kabam, and you don't want to have to give refunds, you don't want to have to give compensation packages, it's just easier to ignore it. And then these lag issues, like, you could say they're pro-Kabam issues, because every time your game drops or an input drops, you miss a parry, you have to restart a fight, you're spinning units, you're spinning potions, you're spinning revives, because you don't want to let your alliance down, and that is causing you to spend money. And so why should they fix it when they're making money off of it, right? This is a post, I didn't want it to be 10 minutes long, I'm looking at the clock, I'm like, crap, it's at 9:32. By the way, when you look at me and you're like, why does he always look to the left? I'm looking at how long the video is trying to make sure that I fit a reasonable time in, because I don't want 20-minute videos on my channel. Some channels are worth it. I'm not worth 20 minutes of your time. So I'm going to end it here. Please leave your feedback in the comments below, and thank you, SparkyMan, for sending this to me before you exited the contest.